all the channels in between and areas around the reefs.
Wow.
Okay, as far as fish go, we've got those little damselfish, those grey ones. Parrotfish, that green one flying. It looks like it's flying. And for the corals, we've got this dominant coral species, the staghorn coral, the branching coral that looks kind of like trees. So the staghorn coral is the fastest growing coral on the reef. Grows up to 70 centimeters per year, which is incredibly fast for anything, but especially for a coral, which has this image of being very slow growing and fragile. That tends to be sort of half true depending on the species. So ones like these staghorns are indeed very fragile, but they grow very quickly. Whereas others like the boulder coral, which we'll see some more of later, are very slow growing, just a few millimeters each year, but are very strong. We've got boulder corals on this reef up to 900 years old. And so these are the hard corals. Corals are one of the two types. They're either hard or soft. These hard corals make that calcium carbonate or limestone skeleton by extracting the calcium carbonate from the water and building these hard structures. There's a few other ones dotted around, the soft corals. So you can see on your left, that stringy coral sort of swaying around. Oh, sorry. That's the spaghetti coral. And you can clearly see the difference that that's the soft coral, it's moving. Soft corals use that hydroskeleton, a skeleton made of water, which is why they can move around because their backbone is just water. Which has its advantages. They can change their shape and size, make themselves bigger on days where it's very calm and still, and they can increase their surface area and absorb more food. They're fusiliers, those blue fish on the left. Now this is our rubble patch. I don't know if you can see there's sort of a few areas of rubble, which fusiliers, that school of fish on our right. Yes, okay. We've got some more of our spaghetti coral moving around. And so these are big-eyed bream, most of those fish. Oh, we've got some unicorn surgeonfish, the ones with the spike on their face. They actually use that spike to anchor into the coral when it's very rough, so that they can eat peacefully without the water moving them around. A bit less, about a centimetre. Yeah, you can see what that's doing. That'll do. There's, we've got some more spaghetti coral. It's a little bit cloudy at the moment because we're in an outgoing tide. And so, you know, like I said this morning about the lagoon in the middle of that horseshoe. On an outgoing tide, the water's a bit warmer. And they can live without their algae for a few weeks to a few months, some of them up to sort of 5 months. And then when the water temperature drops again, when the heat wave is over or just summertime is over, then the zooxanthellae regrows, and the corals take them back up and continue to survive like normal. So when they're bleached, they're just living off food that they can catch at night time in their tentacles. So it's a bit harder for them, but it's okay. You should know them when you go to not so much this time of year, but around November. Yeah, these are some more fusiliers on our left. They're very active plankton feeding fish during the day, the fusiliers. And then they retreat over to the reef at night time to sleep, which is the opposite of most fish. Most fish are more active eaters at night time. They tend to form big schools like this. There's a couple of types. There's the yellow-tailed fusilier.